Glorious Friday morning, everybody. Welcome to The Sweat. I'm your host, Jesse Cofield. Let's talk baseball, shall we? Here to do just that are DraftKings contributors Stan Sun and Nick Friar, and RotoWire's Erik Halterman. You guys know the drill. Time for some MLB Price Check. So who are your favorite plays in these different price ranges for tonight's MLB slate? Starting with the pricey pitcher. So your most expensive dude is Trevor Bauer at $11,900. Stan, you paying all the way up, or are you looking at someone else in that 8K plus range?
Yeah, just from a macro sense, I'm actually paying down at both pitcher slots today. So, if I am going to pay up, I do like Bauer, but I'm going to take the $1,900 savings discount, go down to Alex Wood. He's 10K. He's playing the LA Dodgers. He has a 13.3% swinging strike rate on the season and a 2.75 FIP. He's only allowed 2 home runs, walked 9 in 36 innings. The Dodgers, they've struggled mightily against left-handed pitching this season. They're 9th in strikeouts, 26th in ISO. Blake Snell, Justice Sheffield, Marco Gonzalez, Jose Quintana, Yusei Kikuchi, they all, went busy on them. So I'm going Wood today.
Nick, if you're looking at those pricier guys, who stands out to you?
Carlos Rodon is going to be my guy at 9.9K tonight. I know there's quite a few good guys at 10K or 10K plus, but it's just I feel like Rodon, who has done well against the Yankees in the past, don't let his numbers fool you. He's like a +5 career ERA against them, but that's based off of like 2 terrible outings or like 5-6 years ago. The last 3 times he's faced him, he's done well. Now the Yankees don't strike out like crazy against left-handed pitching, but they're also just middle in the pack in WOBA and OPS against left-handed pitching. And I think it was with Rich Hill that diced against them fairly recently too. So I feel confident in this guy, Carlos Rodon, who's got a 16% swinging strike rate, and he's getting guys to chase out of the zone more often and miss those pitches more often too. So I feel very confident in him at 9.9K.
Erik, what do you think? Like Nick just said, a lot of good guys about that 10K range.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be pretty straightforward here and take the guy who has the most points per game and is only the 3rd highest price. Seems like a good deal to me, and that's going to be Tyler Glasnow. Among that top tier of elite guys who are all pretty similar, might as well get the guy who's been the best by a narrow margin. I think he's going to remain the best or right up there. He's facing a good offense in the Blue Jays, but he seems to be virtually matchup proof this season. Striking out double-digit guys in 5 of his last 7 starts. He's near lock for a huge strikeout total. 38.6% strikeout rate and 9.1% walk rate this year, and that should be very sustainable because both of those marks are within half a percentage point of what he did last season. The main criticism of him in the past was his workload issues, but those seem to be going away. He hit 8 innings in his last start. He's regularly getting beyond 6. So I think Glasnow is firmly in the true ace category this season, and I'm very happy to go with him tonight.
Nick, let's talk stud hitters. You got a lot of big names here: Ronald Acuna Jr., Juan Soto, Trey Turner. Who are you going with?
Well, yeah, there are a lot of options, Jesse, and I think Jesse Winker has to be one of the guys that you go with tonight with your outfield. He's going up against Adrian Hauser, and so before I get to the matchup between him and Hauser, Winker has all of his extra base hits are against right-handed pitching this season. I think there's actually has 1 against left-handed pitching. There's 8 home runs, 9 doubles, and a triple against right-handed pitching. Now against Hauser this year, Hauser's a guy who's gotten barrel up as many times as he did last season in like 250 fewer pitches. So the form is there for both of them for this to be a good matchup for Winker, and then combine the fact that Winker is 5 for 10 against Hauser in his career and 3 home runs. Normally 10 at-bats, I wouldn't say much about that, but 3 home runs, I can't ignore that. So Winker at 5.5K tonight against the Brewers.
All right, Erik, a stud hitter. Where are you going?
Yeah, I usually like Jesse Winker, but I'm going to give a reason not to later, I think. But I'm going to go for this category with Jose Ramirez at 5,600. Switch hitter, gets the platoon advantage against everybody, and getting one against Randy Dobnak seems fine to me. He's probably better than his 8.16 ERA in relief this season, but he's not a scary pitcher at all. He's a soft tossing control grounder guy, career strikeout rate just 16%. Ramirez, if you let him make a ton of contact, he's doing more damage than ever with that contact. He's got a career high in both barrel rate and hard hit rate. Only a 265 actual batting average, but his expected batting average is a full 50 points higher than that. His plate discipline is excellent, just 2 more strikeouts than walks this year, tied for 3rd in the league with 12 homers. So he's kind of a streaky hitter. He has some patches where he's among the best in the league and some where it's pretty shaky, but he's definitely one of the good stretches right now.
Stan, what about a hitter over 5K that you like?
Trevor Story for me, 5.2. He's playing in Colorado. He faces Seth Frankoff. I don't even know who that is. He's 32 years old. He has 9.1 major league innings. He spent 2 years in the KBO. Fastball averages 91 miles per hour. Contact rate in the zone is 94.3%. Swinging strike rate is a paltry 7.7%. Once he's out of the game, then he gets to go up against Arizona bullpen that has the fourth highest FIP in the league. Colorado, they're projected for 5.99 runs, the highest on the slate, and winds blowing out to looks like right center, 17 miles per hour. So yeah, everything lines up.
All right, let's talk about some value here. Erik, who are you looking at as a value bat?
Yeah, Ian Happ at 3,100 seems pretty underpriced to me. There's definitely issues with Ian Happ. He's still striking out all the time, more or less. But his season numbers look pretty mediocre at best this year, but most of that's because of a very poor April. 467 OPS in April. Doesn't get a whole lot worse than that. He's only played 8 games in May because he missed time with an injury, but in those 8 games, he has an OPS of 1331. So he's as hot as he's been all year. Gets the platoon advantage against Carlos Martinez, who 4.35 ERA for him is not terrible, but he's striking out just 12.6% of opposing batters. And when the biggest issue with Happ is his strikeout rate, facing someone who could barely strike out me these days, seems like a good time to use him.
Stan, give the people some value, please.
I'm going Eddie Rosario, 3,300. He's batting second in the lineup. He gets to face off against Radney Dobnak in 5.2 innings against left-handed batters this season. Dobnak, he's 4 home runs. The slash is 320, 393, 800. Minnesota bullpen also has the 6th highest FIP in the league. Rosario, he's got 3 home runs on the season, 5 stolen bases. So, there's multiple paths to fantasy goodness here. His problem is that, he chases a ton outside the zone. The O swing percentage is, 13th highest in the league. With that said, the ISO on the season is only 119. He's a career 197 ISO batter, and the BABIP's only 232. So he's going to get, he's going to heat up at some point.
Nick, where can the people find some salary relief?
And no, for this part of the show, we usually try and stay right under 4K, if not right at it. I'm just going to go a tick over at 4.1K because this guy's value is too good tonight. David Peralta. And look, he's at Colorado, so there's that first. Anytime you're going for an away hitter at Colorado, it's a good play. You're going against Ramon Marquez, and Peralta has faced him 45 times throughout his career. So we have a massive sample size here. And guess what? He has a 1.019 OPS against this guy, 2 home runs, 5 doubles. So I feel like right now, I don't know why I keep trying to round out everybody's outfields this week, but that's just what's been happening. But Peralta is the play here. And I know his numbers on the season haven't been that great, but since May 15, his OPS is up over his season average. It's at 851 right now. So I feel like right now at 4.1K, you're going to get great value out of Peralta against the Rockies.
All right, guys, finally, why don't we take a look at the DK Sportsbook? So Stan, what's your favorite MLB bet for tonight?
Excuse me, Houston minus 1.5 at plus 125. Tyler Ivey, he's starting. He's a rookie. It's going to be his first appearance. When I dug into him a little bit, I was pretty enamored with him. His fastball sits at 92 miles per hour, but he can get it up to 95 when he needs to. The spin rate super high. He works, up and down in the zone. The thing about him though, like his delivery is a little funky, so it's going to take batters a while to get used to him. In the minors, he has a double-digit K per 9 in every season in the minors. Texas, they are 3rd in strikeouts against right-handed pitching. And in addition, like even if he does struggle a little bit, the Astros offense, they've been in fuego. They've won the last 8 of 9 games, and they've averaged 6.77 runs per game. All
right, Nick, your favorite MLB bet for tonight?
I had a White Sox-Yankees one that I liked a lot, but there's one right away as I was getting ready for today that it just jumped out at me. Seeing Kyle Hendricks on the mound and looking at his over on his hits allowed, it's set at 5.5 right now. And I know it's the price is fine, but against the Cardinals, I'm taking this all day. He's hit this in his last 6 outings, and that includes starts against the Brewers and the Pirates, who are among the worst 5 teams in WOBA against right-handed pitching. And I would honestly, Jesse, I would have taken this at 6.5, the over here. And look, the Cardinals, for those who need to know their numbers, they're middle of the pack in OPS and ISO against right-handed pitching. So I have all the confidence in the world that Kyle Hendricks is going to give up at least 6 hits tonight against against the Cardinals.
Nick, very confident in his pick. Erik, are you as confident?
I'll go with no, but I still like my pick anyway. It's early morning. I'm not feeling super confident in anything in the world yet. Give me an hour or two and some more coffee. But this is my reason for not being all in on Jesse Winker tonight, even though I do love him this year. I'm picking the Brewers over the Reds because I do think Adrian Hauser actually is pretty good. Not so good that I think Winker's a terrible play by any means, but he's a guy that people liked a few years ago where he actually had an above average strikeout rate, ground ball rate, and walk rate, I believe. He regressed last season. This year, the strikeouts aren't all the way back, just 20.6%, but he's got a very high ground ball rate of 60.2%. So should do a good job keeping the ball in the yard against a pretty good Reds lineup that is in the top third by WRC+. The Brewers are down near the bottom, but they've been banged up for most of the year and are less banged up now. They've got Christian Yelich back, which certainly helps more than a little bit. And they're facing Jeff Hoffman, who I don't really have any faith in. 4.67 ERA, and that's like the best outcome he's had. Career ERA over 6. Most of his career was spent in Colorado, which does inflate that. But even with the Coors Field adjustment, there's no way to make a 6.17 career ERA look good. This year, he's worse than average across the board. Strikeout rate, ground ball rate, walk rate, just nothing there. I think there's enough with Hauser and a healthier Brewers lineup that I have medium confidence, I guess, in this pick.